Greetings and salutations. I am Poetic Heretic, back with more paranormal news. Could Mothman and other similar creatures be some kind of guardians of the dead? That is a new theory put out in an article on phantomsandmonsters.com that also cites an eyewitness story submitted to this site that seems to suggest this might be the case. The reader-submitted story mentions Native American burial mounds in the hills of West Virginia, as well as artifacts they left behind in the same location as the reader's chilling experiences with possibly otherworldly entities. The witness also retells accounts from a neighbor who had similar experiences in the exact same area, a place known as Wayne, West Virginia. The story from the reader herself mentions an encounter around 2003 where she and her husband heard the most horrifying non-human scream coming from the mountains, a scream that was especially disturbing because it even frightened her husband, who knew everything there was to know about the woods and wasn't scared of anything in them. Her neighbor's story took things to the next level. She said that one night she heard some loud noises coming from an old cabin behind her house. The noises began as soon as she turned the lights off. She assumed some kids had broken into it and went out to tell them to leave. However, after yelling for them to get out, the noise stopped, but she didn't see anyone. She then went to get a flashlight, shined it in the window, and saw something staring right back at her. She fled and locked herself in her house after that. The creature she saw looked like the Mothman, but she wasn't sure what exactly it was. She said it exuded a sense of pure evil, was bigger than her, very dark, walked upright, and had red eyes. The reader said her neighbor was terrified while telling her this story. Her neighbor had a second encounter where she was babysitting and this creature came up on the porch. They could hear it out there, sounding like it was pacing back and forth. They locked everything and went to hide in the bedroom. The three of them kept close together in there, terrified as it appeared at the window. It apparently made some kind of scratching sound on the window as the three of them hid under the covers. They were hysterical at this point, all of them screaming. After some time had passed, the creature returned to the front porch and remained there until the early hours of the morning. And finally, that was the end of that story. They all moved soon after. The reader concluded all of this by saying, quote, "Now, I will say that I loved being in those woods on Buffalo Creek. During the day, we always had fun. We'd find arrowheads and all kinds of different treasures the Indians left behind. At night, however, we wanted to be inside. I hated the back room, closest to the woods. My great-grandfather built several houses on that road. My family still lives there. It just always felt like there was something out there at night. The nature noises would get quiet all of a sudden. It just always seemed scary at night. Even as an adult, I would run from the car to the house. I don't know what's out there, but I'd say there's too many stories and witnesses to discount it." End quote. So to wrap all of this up, the theory is that with all the Native American burial mounds and artifacts in the area as mentioned in these accounts, perhaps Mothman and other creatures are some kind of protective entities for the dead, possibly the result of native rituals and or magic. An interesting theory indeed. I will put a link to the Phantoms and Monsters article in the description for those interested. This has been another report from Poetic Heretic. Don't forget to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.